Have you ever jokingly said to a friend that you're broke or ugly? Unfortunately, in modern humor, it's widely accepted to joke about yourself in a negative way. Did you know that if you change the things that you say to yourself and others for just 21 days, your life will change? I'm going to tell you exactly how to do that. Now, I'll admit, I used to make negative declarations about myself all the time. I would say things like, I'm always tired, or I'm broke, or I'm not sportsy. And I would say it with a laugh, like it's a personality trait instead of a program I've been running for years. I used to think that just because I was joking, because I was self-aware, it didn't count. But spiritually speaking, what I was actually doing is casting spells. Because words are spells. And whether you say them dramatically, sarcastically, jokingly, or seriously, it does not matter. This video is not about toxic positivity, pretending everything is amazing, or forcing affirmations that feel fake. This is about understanding how your words shape your reality at a psychological and spiritual level. Because the way you speak is not neutral. And it's not just commentary, it's instruction. Spiritually, words are not just communication. They're energetic commands. They carry vibration and intention. They are the expressions of consciousness taking form. When you speak, you're not just describing reality. You are declaring what you align with and announcing what you expect. You are stating what you believe is normal for you. Every time you say something, you're telling reality how to interact with you. You're telling the universe, this is who I am. This is what I experience, and this is what happens to me. And the universe listens. Most people think manifestation is something you do intentionally once a day, but manifestation is happening all day long through your casual language and thoughts, through the way you talk about your life, yourself, your past, and your future. This is exactly what Neville Goddard was talking about. He taught that reality responds to assumption and not desire, meaning you don't manifest something just by wanting it. You manifest what you assume to be true, and assumptions live in your inner dialogue, not the affirmations you repeat once in the morning, but the automatic sentences you say when something goes wrong. People say things like, of course this happens, or this always happens to me. And those are assumptions. And when an assumption is repeated, it becomes identity. Neville emphasized living from the state of the wish fulfilled, which really means speaking and thinking from the version of you that expects things to work. Not because everything always does, but because expectation changes perception. This is also why affirmations don't work for so many people. You see, these affirmations fail when they directly contradict what you believe. For example, if your belief is I struggle and you say I'm wildly successful, your ego rejects it. It creates internal conflict. And when there's a conflict, the old identity is going to always win. This is why the right language is so powerful. So instead of saying I'm confident, you can say I'm learning to trust myself. Or instead of saying I love my body, you could say I'm working on being kinder to my body. Instead of everything works out for me, you can say I'm starting to expect better outcomes. Why can it feel so difficult to change those beliefs? Changing negative beliefs can be tricky because the ego loves familiarity. The ego loves what it knows, even if what it knows is negative. Even if what it knows keeps you small but comfortable. So if you're used to speaking negatively about yourself, it gives you comfort of familiarity. When you constantly speak from lack, limitation, and defeat, you anchor yourself to those timelines. And when opportunities pass you by, it's not because they weren't meant for you, It's because you were tuned to a different reality. Spiritually speaking, words are timeline selectors. Every version of your life already exists as potential. That dream reality that you think of, it already exists as potential. All you have to do is align with it. One of the things that it greatly depends on is your language. Your language determines which version of yourself you align with. If you constantly say, "Nothing works out for me," you're aligning with the timeline where nothing works out. If you say, "I'm always behind," you stay in the timeline where you're always catching up. This is why changing your words can feel uncomfortable. You're not just changing language. You're changing your identity, and you're stepping out of a familiar timeline into the unfamiliar one. And your ego resists that. So how do we start speaking consciously? First of all, you do not need perfect words. You just need intentional ones. And the first thing you could do is try avoiding words that are permanent, because nothing is permanent. For example, try avoiding saying, "Nothing ever works out for me," or "This always happens to me." Next thing you could do is speaking in past tense. If you messed up, you can just say, "I messed up." You can speak in becoming. I'm learning, I'm shifting, I'm becoming more aware, I'm allowing things to improve. These are spiritually powerful statements because they keep consciousness fluid. So next time something goes wrong for you, you can say, "You know what, that wasn't perfect and that's okay. I'm moving on." Now, I want to stress that the most important words that you speak are the ones that you say silently. Your inner dialogue is your constant prayer, and life answers prayer through experience. If your inner dialogue is harsh, life feels harsh. If your inner dialogue is gentle, life softens. And this isn't punishment. This is the universe taking your commands. As I said prior, your words are spells. Remember that your words are not describing your life, they're selecting it. They're aligning you, and they're shaping the version of reality that responds to you. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to be conscious. Because the moment you change how you speak to yourself, you change how life meets you. Speak consciously and gently. Speak like someone who expects good things. Because spiritually speaking, the universe is always listening. And if you'd like to know about clear ways of communicating with the higher power, you should check out this video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye-bye.